A winter wind swept through downtown Chicago, slapping the streets with icy bitterness as the night deepened. Neon signs flickered across abandoned buildings, and the hum of distant traffic blended with the restless city's heartbeat. The Steel Serpents motorcycle club rolled down Wabash Avenue, engines roaring like metallic beasts. Their headlights cut through the darkness in sharp beams as they approached a narrow side street known for trouble. Out of nowhere, a small voice pierced the cold air. "Stop the bikes, it's an ambush." The shout was thin, trembling, but loud enough to slice through the thunder of engines. Hawk, the Serpents' leader, braked hard. The rest followed instantly, their formation tight and disciplined. Tires screeched. Smoke curled upward. The bikers exchanged confused looks. None of them expected a warning. Not here, not from a little girl wearing a torn hoodie and clutching a stuffed bear missing an eye. Hawk pulled off his helmet, revealing sharp, cautious eyes. "What did you just say?" he asked, his tone rough but controlled. The girl swallowed hard, her breath fogging in the frigid air. "It's an ambush," she repeated, voice shaking. "Up ahead, in that alley." The bikers tensed. Wabash Alley was a shortcut to the interstate, but it was also a maze of blind corners and graffiti-covered dumpsters. A perfect place to trap someone. Hawk motioned to his crew. "Lights forward." They aimed their headlights down the alley. That's when Hawk saw it. Shadows shifting unnaturally, as if too many people were packed into a space meant for none. A faint metallic clink echoed, like someone adjusting a metal pipe or chain. Hawk's jaw tightened. His instincts screamed danger. He knelt down in front of the girl. "How do you know?" She hesitated, hugging the stuffed bear tighter. I sleep behind those dumpsters sometimes. I heard men talking earlier. They said they were gonna hit the next group on bikes. They said you guys looked loaded." The Serpents chuckled darkly at that, but Hawk didn't. He studied her. Dirt smudged her cheeks. Her shoes were different sizes. Her knuckles were bruised, old bruises. Life had clearly been beating this kid long before tonight. "Why warn us?" Hawk asked. The girl's lower lip trembled. Because they're bad people. And you're the loud people, but not the bad people." She looked down. "I didn't want anyone to get hurt." For the first time that night, the Serpents fell silent. Hawk stood and scanned the alley again. The shadows shifted once more. Someone whispered orders. The girl wasn't lying. He signaled to his crew. "We're not walking into that trap. Form a barrier." The bikers repositioned their motorcycles, engines rumbling like distant thunder, ready for either confrontation or retreat. Hawk placed a firm but gentle hand on the girl's shoulder. "You did the right thing," he said. "What's your name?" She hesitated. "Lily." "Well, Lily," he replied, "tonight you might have saved a whole lot of people." Her eyes widened, unsure whether to feel proud or scared. And in the cold Chicago night, with danger waiting just ahead, Hawk realized that this girl's warning was no accident. Something bigger was brewing in the shadows of the city, and the Steel Serpents had just been pulled into it. The moment Hawk ordered his bikers to reposition, the night shifted. What had been a quiet, uneasy tension turned into a dangerous pulse, like the city itself was holding its breath. The Steel Serpents revved their engines, forming a semicircle with Lily safely behind Hawk's bike. The alley suddenly erupted. Figures burst from the darkness. 6, maybe 8 men, armed with pipes, chains, and broken bottles. Their faces were covered with cheap bandanas, eyes wild with the certainty of an easy ambush. They expected terrified victims. Instead, they found a wall of roaring engines and blinding headlights. "Serpents, hold the line," Hawk commanded. The attackers hesitated for a split second, shielding their eyes. That pause was all Hawk needed. He spun his bike sideways, using its massive frame like a shield in front of Lily. She whimpered, but didn't run. She gripped his jacket, knuckles white, trusting him because there was no one else left to trust. One of the ambushers, a tall man with a crowbar, charged first. "Bad move." Tank, one of Hawk's biggest bikers, stepped forward and revved his engine so hard the sound rattled the streetlights. "You sure you wanna try that, sweetheart?" Tank growled. The man stopped dead in his tracks. Another attacker attempted a sneak approach from the left, but 2 Serpents angled their bikes instantly, headlights flooding him. He flinched, stumbled, and dropped his chain. The Serpents moved with tight unity, the kind only found in people who'd survived too much together. Then Hawk heard something in the distance, sirens. Getting closer. Probably Lily's warning had drawn attention, or maybe the noise had woken someone nearby. Either way, the ambushers heard it too. Their confidence evaporated. "We gotta go," one of them hissed. The group backed away, retreat turning sloppy. Within seconds they melted into side streets and vanished between the buildings like roaches escaping light. The alley fell silent again, except for the growl of motorcycle engines and Lily's shaky breathing. When Hawk finally killed his engine, the world felt strangely quiet. "You all right?" he asked, turning to Lily. She nodded, though her eyes were glassy and overwhelmed. They would have hurt you. I'm glad they ran." Hawk crouched in front of her. "No," he said, voice softer than she'd ever heard from a biker. "We're the ones glad. You saved our hides." The other serpents nodded, murmuring approval. They weren't gentle men, but gratitude softened even the roughest of them. The sirens grew louder, blue and red lights flickering against nearby buildings. Hawk sighed. "We don't need cops asking questions tonight." "Then go," Lily whispered. "Before they blame you." Hawk stared at her. This tiny, fragile thing, protecting them now. Something twisted in his chest. "Where will you go?" he asked. Lily's silence was answer enough. Now the serpents exchanged different glances, not of caution, but of decision. Hawk stood, offering her a small helmet. "You're coming with us," he said simply. "Until you've got a place. No kid should be alone out here." Lily hesitated, wide-eyed. "Ride. With bikers." Hawk smirked. "With family." She climbed onto the motorcycle, holding tightly as Hawk started the engine. The serpents formed up and rolled out, leaving the alley behind but carrying something new with them: responsibility, hope, and the promise that Lily's life was about to change. Forever.